Dove season's way more about just shooting some birds.
It is.
It kicks off hunting season for the year.
It is. It's a rite of passage.
It really is.
You know, and like you said, it's the thought of starting hunting season and getting back into, hunting game and the fellowship with your buddies that you hadn't seen. Some people hadn't seen their, hunting buddies all year long. Might talk to them on the phone or something, but they hadn't been around to spend time. And this is an opportunity to get back in front of those guys and have a good time and, kind of reminisce over what happened throughout the year and, get started hunting.
Hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkie podcast. We're back in the studio today, just me and you, Mikey. What's happening?
What's going on, dude? I'm ready for dove season. What about you?
Man, I'm ready. I guess Mark's out of town on us.
Yeah.
We didn't have a guest lined up this week. I don't know where Jamie is today. He probably had something going on.
Yeah, just me and you. We're the only ones that dove hunt anyway, it's all right.
Hey, it is time, man. This is for me, dove season's way more about just shooting some birds.
It is.
It kicks off hunting season for the year.
It is. It's a rite of passage.
It really is.
And it's like you said, it's the thought of starting hunting season and getting back into, hunting game and the fellowship with your buddies that you hadn't seen. Some people hadn't seen their, hunting buddies all year long. Might talk to them on the phone or something, but they hadn't been around to spend time. And this is an opportunity to get back in front of those guys and have a good time and, kind of reminisce over what happened throughout the year and, get started hunting. Man,
we always used it as work days too. You dove hunt some, but you're really there to get them turnip plots in for deer season.
Well, that's what I was thinking to say. That's also a good strategy if you're you're in a hunting club and you're a president or something like that. Do a dove field and get everybody down there and say, well, I didn't tell y'all this, but as soon as we get through with the morning hunt, Mike was cleaning the birds. The rest of you come with me. We're planting food plots.
Right. Time to get that ground broke a little.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some rain coming in. Well, I guess what's some of your most memorable dove hunts that you've had? This is a good time to tell stories. That's a big part of why we do this because it's you're hanging out, you're fellowshipping, you're teaching kids how to hunt. You're making memories the whole time, and the stories that we get from it, man, that's the one thing we hold on to and we tell. I don't care if we tell them year after year. We hear the same stories every dove season.
We do.
Season.
And they change.
Elaborated on a little bit. Have you got any memorable ones that stick out to you?
Man, yeah. I mean, I've got a bunch as a child, just, hunting with my dad and stuff like that. But, some of the most memorable hunts that I've had, one of the first times that we actually done a dove field of our own. It was me and a buddy of mine and some other friends that done one. Well, he had been doing one here for quite a while. I mean, him and his dad did it over the years and stuff like that. And anyways, we went out there and I was helping him, running tractors. He had everything planted when we got there. He'd already planted it during the spring. We got there, we were just like bush hogging or disking or, throwing weed or whatever he needed done, spraying fields. So, leading up to this dove season or whatever, he had a big cooking shed that sat out there close to the field, probably 100 yards maybe from the field. Pole barn, had TVs in it where we watched football. We had grills out there. Everybody brought grills. Everybody brought some kind of food anyways. So we did a big deal. It was all day. It was actually the night before and a whole weekend thing. Like some people didn't even go home. They just slept in the truck and stayed, so, and we were young back in too, early 20s and stuff. But anyways, this one particular year, we had a jam up field. A good one. And anyways, his brother lived close by. His brother didn't dove hunt. So he was down there, and I walked out on the field, and I said, well, I'm going to let everybody else go where they want to. I want everybody to hunt. There was kids and stuff like that, and they go out there and they start hunting anyways. I walked probably maybe not even 100 yards from the shed, right in the edge of the field right there. Well, the sun starts coming up. I think I fired the first shot that morning. Bird comes right down over the cooking shed. Bam, I knock him down. Well, that just opened the door. Everybody went to shooting. That first guy.
They're waiting on that first.
Yeah, they're waiting on somebody, please, somebody shoot. And once that happens, man, it's just, the field lit up, just bang, 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 all the way down the field. They went to shooting. And there's birds just zipping everywhere. I didn't shoot every bird that came by. I wasn't shooting at them farms. I was trying to just say they're hidden, and catch them ones that came close because I wasn't being selfish, let the rest of the birds go on through. So I was popping the ones that just came, I knew I could hit, was in range. And before the sun even got up, crested over the trees, I had a limit of birds. And I walked back to that cooking shed, and his brother said, give me them birds. You ain't done. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, we can have 30 apiece." And at that time, I didn't really read the game laws or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You can have 30 in possession.
But it's a 15
That's on the
daily.
second day.
Yeah, that's right. You can't have 30 on day one, daylight.
No, I walked up there, shot another limit of birds, came back, gave him that limit of birds.
So he had a limit and you had a limit. That ain't illegal as long as y'all
wasn't illegal yet.
Yeah.
It got illegal pretty fast.
So you went back for more after 30?
I went back and I was like, man, I'm about to run out of shells. I done shot 30 birds, and anyways, these other guys, they came off the field, son. They had 5-gallon buckets full. Everybody shot 2 limits or more.
Wow.
Now, I'm talking about everybody on the field.
How many men were on that field, do you think?
Probably 20.
So y'all killed some birds.
Yeah, it was 600 birds. We got through counting, it was a little over 600 birds that morning.
I had never been on a hunt like that.
And we were sitting there, and I was counting, and somebody said something about that law, and they kept arguing with one another. No, you can have 30 in possession. I said, but today, and I got to reading, and I was like, today is opening day.
Yeah.
When did you kill them other 15 birds? I was like,
it ain't froze.
This ain't gonna work. I was like, so we got to get rid of some of these birds. So we cleaned them and washed them, packed them up, and got them off the field.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of we dispersed. Normally we don't do that, and take the birds somewhere, and get them off the field so we can hunt this afternoon.
Oh, y'all were going back for more.
Oh, we went back that afternoon.
Man, y'all waylaid them that day.
Oh man, that was probably the best. That was probably the best. Most productive dove hunting, field that I've ever been on. It wasn't a big field. I mean, it might have been 15, 20 acres. Sunflowers in the middle, out on the edges was just tilled up and sown with wheat, which is legal. Not saying the whole field was legal, but, we were trying to be legal.
Trying your best.
Yeah, trying our best.
Well, that's what it's all about, though. Have you ever... I mean, it's going to go, if you're hunting anywhere, usually you're going to get checked some kind of way.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have you been checked, or you remember
you've
been checked?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever gotten a ticket?
I've never gotten a ticket.
Yeah.
Because I know how those dove fields are, those game wardens, and I'm not saying I would purposely, do something to get a ticket, but, sometimes it happens by accident, and you just oversight or, you forget to put your plug in. Yeah. I leave the plug in all my guns. I don't never take the plugs out no more. To me, it's kind of senseless not to have the plug in the gun. I mean, most time you're going to fire 3 shots. By that time, the birds are way out of range anyways.
Right.
You need to reload anyhow, But anyhow, some people, they don't put the plugs in the gun, forget to put them in opening morning, get excited or running late and run out there and get a ticket for a plug. But yes, I have been checked several times. It's always nervous. I'm always nervous.
What are you making sure you got on you to be legal when you hit the dove field? So you got your plug.
I got my plug in my gun. Make sure my license are in my pocket.
Yeah.
And pretty much that's the main things right there. And make sure you're not shooting over a limited bird.
Make sure you ain't got steel and lead with you.
Yeah.
You can't have both. I don't think you can have both, can you?
If you're hunting doves, I think you can.
You can.
But if you're hunting migratory birds, like if you're going to shoot some geese or something like that, no, you cannot have lead shot with you.
So
anywhere on your possession.
So it's best just to keep all your lead to your dove hunting.
Yeah, you need a duck bag and you need a dove
hunting
bag if you're trying to do both. So make sure
that's rules I'm not up on. I'm not a big goose hunter or duck hunter like that, man. And I didn't know you weren't supposed to. I knew you weren't supposed to if you go to duck blind. I know you can't have lead, but I didn't even think about because it is goose season.
I didn't know
we've
that.
had some geese hit our fields, and you can't. So you don't bring both out there. If you plan on shooting a goose, you better just have steel, and that's it. And shoot dove with steel.
And see, that's what I was wondering about on that law. Just say that we're all dove hunting, but just say Will wanted to goose hunt.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any he had his migratory stamps. He had everything he had to have license wise. He was just sitting out there with steel shot. All he was there for was the geese. If he knocked down 3 or 4 geese out there while we were hunting, would he be okay, or would they give him a hard time?
I don't know. Imagine if they put that metal detector and they found some lead or whatever.
Well, they may have flew across somebody else's field.
Somebody else shot at them. I don't know what the law. I'd rather be legal. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to shoot a goose on opening day of dove season, you might as well go ahead and shoot steel. Don't even bring the lead.
Yeah.
But man, you know when them birds are flying, or if the dove ain't, and you get Tweety birds coming in, and you get dragonflies, and you get that old itch, you want to shoot something, and then some geese come in, that's going to be a hard refrain.
It is.
You're going to have to check up.
I heard a story the other day, and I really didn't know this myself, but somebody, I was with a group of guys the other day, and they were talking about hunting a field. And one of the guys there said that, usually somebody clips off some kind of songbird or something like that, by accident or on purpose, whatever the case may be. People pop one, usually on the field. And they got checked, and the boy got a ticket for shooting a songbird.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So they are not legal.
No.
Yeah.
By what he said now, I don't know where that's in the laws at, but
I'll tell you which ones will get you, them no kill these. Them jerkers get up.
Oh,
they get flushed. They don't fly very far, but man, they got them old bent wings too. It looks a lot like a little dove when it comes up over a hill low.
There's been a bunch of killed over dove.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And it's funny when you're sitting there and somebody, like, there's one that, anticipation kills everybody on the field.
Yeah.
Soon as the sun comes up, a killed comes over, bird, and man, the first half of the field is just bang, 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 bang. They just shoot.
Yeah.
And then some guy on the other end of the field, it's a killed, quit.
Well, it gets me when the most slow, big doves, the most city doves come flying in.
Oh, yeah.
Those fat pigeons.
Yeah. Man,
I love
pigeon. Hell yeah, I'm shooting a pigeon.
If you see one, it's going down.
I am shooting a pigeon.
Are you eating it?
Yes, I am eating a pigeon. I was scared to death to eat pigeons until I hunted with a group of guys one time. They didn't cull nothing, and they killed, I don't know, a couple dozen pigeons that come over the fields. Well, I said, man, I ain't eating them nasty things, And the guy explained it to me. He's like, Mike, these are country pigeons. Like, they do live under the bridge, but they're feeding out here in the, cornfields and all the grain fields out here. They're not like the ones in Memphis living under the bridge, eating garbage and, trashy things. He's like, these down here stay under the bridges around here or wherever, and they feed off the grain. He's like, they're really good birds. Man. Yeah. They're really good birds to eat. So they cooked them up, and I'd never eat a pigeon. And man, it was fine.
So you recommend it?
I recommend eating pigeons.
Well, if we get a chance to shoot some, I want you to cook me some pigeon.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because there's several flying. Like, we got a game cam. I think we posted it online.
Yeah, I posted it yesterday.
Is that you that put that on there?
Yeah.
Like, I've been seeing them flying by. I mean, there's no doubt when they come in, it just looks like fat, slow dove. Or if I was a dove, that's the size I'd be.
Well, the cool thing about them is they're almost like a mix between a duck and a dove. If pigeons don't just come down and hit the field like a dove. A dove will just dart in and try to light.
Yeah.
They'll circle the field once or twice and then come in.
As a flock, too.
Yeah.
Like, they stay together.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So if you just be patient, don't move, and just let them come on in.
They're coming.
Everybody's going to get a shot at them.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna try that thing. I'm gonna test your theory on that on pigeons.
But yeah, I love pigeons. I'll eat a pigeon. I'll probably shoot and eat a pigeon faster than I will a dove because it's twice as big anyway.
You get more meat on it, that's for sure. You cooking them the same way?
Yeah, same way. Same way.
I ain't scared to try one. I'll try anything once. But what's your favorite part about dove season?
My favorite part is building up to it. Leading up to it. Prepping the fields, getting the fields right, and just seeing kids smiling and getting to go on their first hunt ever. Because usually that's first hunt for a kid. If it ain't a squirrel, it's usually a
dove.
It's usually a dove hunt. Dad takes him out there, lets him or a little girl bring their BB guns, and sit down on the bucket, and usually they let them go retrieve the bird so they can go get they're involved in it, and seeing that because that's something that me and you did a long time ago, and our boys are up pretty much grown now, and I miss that, but I want to create that same opportunity for somebody else if it's possible.
Yeah, that's all the best part of it to me is that fellowship.
Yeah.
Because you're together with your buddies. It's not just about going out there and shooting stuff. Yeah, that part's fun. If we was to kill 600 birds with 20 men, man, that'd be the hell of a lot. But it wouldn't be about shooting those birds.
Yeah.
It's about everybody and the time we have and the stories we're making and the food we're cooking at camp. And man, it kicks off college football.
Oh yeah.
Off. That all is what I remember. And you don't call it dove camp. We always go to deer camp, even though we're hunting dove, and that's what really starts that first weekend. Everybody's there and everybody's staying and having a good time. And, it's an all day thing. It's all weekend thing. I mean, this year it's kind of funny for us because here in Mississippi, I guess most places it opens September 1st, which is Monday, Labor Day. And we're not planning on hunting all our fields on Labor Day. We're going to do some hunting on Labor Day.
Yeah.
But luckily we've got a few fields we can hold because we want to have that weekend experience. And it's not the same going down. If we went down on Friday night, and you can't hunt till Monday morning, man, that's going to, we'll have some stuff we got to come do. Maybe we have a clay shoot or something or do something because I guess you could do some food plotting, but it's tough when it opens on a Monday versus, and I don't remember it doing that. Do you remember that in all the years?
It
has.
In the past, I think they've done it maybe once or twice over the course of the years I've been hunting. Not sure why. I mean, I guess just, it's day, September 1, it just fell there. So that's what we're going to do. I really wish they would just hold it till the next weekend.
And let that be
because, it is, like you said, it's a fellowship for probably 85% of the people that are doing it. It's not just about the hunt. It's the camaraderie and the fellowship and the cooking and the just hanging out. And you kind of take that away when you go down there and you get on the field on Monday morning and then get off the field. And then, there's not a whole lot going on Monday. Most people are going to leave.
Yeah.
So then you just kind of missed out on the whole experience.
Yeah, so that's the after the hunt stuff is what I like as much as I do the hunt. It's that, that's when we do some cooking, and hopefully we got some birds to clean and birds to cook. But if not, we're always going to cook. We're trying to eat up that deer meat we got in the freezer from last year.
Yeah, that's good.
Any ducks we got in the freezer. So we're rolling up everything, and we're just cooking all kinds of stuff, and everybody's hanging out and having a good time. And if you got to go to work the next morning, I mean, it ain't near as fun. Yeah. We normally don't even hunt it on Labor Day. Normally everybody's packing up, going home that Monday, or you're doing something with your family and home because you've been away a little bit. That's the day we reserve for that, to go home and rest and think about the next weekend.
That's right. You're not getting it this year.
Yeah, no. So we're going to postpone ours. But so how many times have you went back and hunted the same field, the same places after that opening day? Because usually, we think about it, we get a good dove hunt in, we pretty much stop.
Yeah.
It's on to getting the food plots ready and everything else after that. We really don't do a lot of dove hunting after the fact.
It's been hit and miss, and that's actually something. I'm glad you said that, because I've got that was one of the things I was going to ask you. But some of the fields that I've had in the past or been involved in, you shoot them that opening weekend. The next weekend you may go shoot them. May not be as good as it was that opening weekend, but there's still birds there. Whether pushing birds here or, whatever, just pass through birds coming through, not just the ones that's been here all summer. Anyways, and you can go back and you have a decent shoot, and we've shot them plumb up through almost Halloween, wherever the I can't remember where the season ends and, closes and opens back up back through that time. But, we've been out there, and I've been in a hoodie out there shooting birds. It was really cool, in the mornings and evenings. And we done pretty good, shot a limit of birds and come off the field. And then there's been times where we shot the field one time. You might go out there and see a handful fly over the top of it the rest of the year. And you had a pretty good shoot on it the first time, but that was it. It just kind of died out.
Yeah. Well, so what I've seen is like these first birds, they're usually the younger birds, that just hatched. This their first migration down. They're a lot closer shots, but then as the season goes on, you get the older birds, maybe a little smarter, and they've done it before. They stay. That's the ones that are going to be, you got out 35, 40 yards. You're going to make better shots on them. So I think it depends, too, on the time of year, depending on how the weather is, how they're pushed down to us.
Yeah, I think so, too. Yeah, but like that, and let me ask you this. So do you think that, so we've had a dove field the last, 3 or 4 years?
4 or 5.
On your place. Yeah. Do you think that what we put in the field makes a bigger difference, or the location of the field?
I think it's location. I think it's more where birds want to be.
Yeah.
Because like when we first started, we didn't really know the land. We just knew we wanted to make some dove fields, and we had some bigger food plots that were down kind of in the bottom. Well, we tried to do a dove field down in there and plant sunflowers. I think we did a mix. We did a little bit of milo and sorghum. We had all kinds of stuff in there. But what we noticed when we tried to hunt it that year, we saw birds, but they were sky high. They didn't want to drop down at the bottom coming off these ridges, the way they come into the land. And so we didn't shoot. I mean, we killed a few, but we noticed we had to send the boys up to the top of those hills and catch them before they ever come down to the field to have a shot at them because they weren't getting close enough.
Yeah.
So I think I think the location matters more, but I think there's also some fact that you're training the birds too. The more they know that that's a food source in that area,
Yeah.
the more they'll come to it. So, we've seen that progressively. We've gained more and more birds just by continuing to make that same area a duck field every year.
I think that was kind of where I was going with that, because a lot of the fields that I've had around my house out here where there's a heavy agriculture and stuff like that, corn and things like that going on, planted, thousands of acres of it around me. If we put a dove field anywhere in that area, generally we do better there than I would, down around your farm where there's hardly any agriculture. It's all cow pastures.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you said, but I think if you continue to keep that field there, now it may be one of those fields you shoot opening weekend, may not do very good after that, but because there's really it's not drawing. I think it's not drawing the mass of birds like the ones that are, going to these agriculture areas, and then you got a dove field mixed in out there somewhere around them. It's not drawing as many birds because those bigger agriculture fields are drawing a lot of birds to them. So once they've, kind of eat everything out of those fields, you still got something on your field.
Yeah.
And they're coming to you. But, I was just curious about that, what you thought about that.
Well, it is tough kind of where we are because, the Delta's not far from us, and we got a big bottom where they're cutting a bunch of corn right now, and I'm sure those guys down in the Delta, if they got their corn in, it's ready to go too.
Yeah.
So when they start cutting that corn, it draws birds. That's where the birds go. And so, they've got reason to be in all those fields, way more food than we have. I think a lot of what we are some of them are a bunch of local birds right now.
Yeah.
That just stay there. But I've noticed around some of these cattle operations where they're holding, you see it around where they're feeding and stuff.
Feeding cows, yeah.
And you can ride those roads and see the power lines, and they're loaded with birds.
Yeah.
That's where they know they can get easy food. They've got easy access to food, easy access to water, a place to sit. Nothing's messing
Usually
with
gravel roads throughout the cattle farm.
Gravel roads, yeah. So we've got a buddy. That's probably where we're going to hunt opening day. It's a cattle operation, and he's always got birds around this one place, one hillside. The birds love it, and it's a easy shoot. So that's probably where we're going to go opening day to get some shots in, get warmed up. But
what do you think it's smart to do what we're doing this year where we're not hunting our, we are hunting a field, but those guys are going to come over and hunt with us the next weekend, but we're going to dodge hunting our fields this weekend to go hunt his. But do you think
I don't know what
do you think could happen
So the weather's the biggest thing that deters us from having birds now. Well, you do everything you can by putting in the best plots you can and hopefully, drawing some birds to it and have it over the years, having the plot in the same location. And that's about all that's in our control. We can kind of watch the weather and hope, but it just never fails that either there's a front pushing up from some kind of tropical storm or a hurricane that's, pushed up weather from the south, or like it is this year, we've got all this north, got the whole jet stream pushing down on us, and we're unseasonably cool here at the end of August. Normally it's, scorching hot.
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing temps dip down to 60 or a little bit below at night. And so that's, it's got to be pushing some birds down to us, but it's also pushing some of our birds a little bit further south. Nothing you can control on that. And I think, for what we're doing, I think it's just up to whenever you want to have your good time dove hunting.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I said, let's wait a week, because I don't think it's going to be the same. Well, we could go hunt opening day and have our people out there and hunt all our fields at one time. And it's pretty much all we got. Everybody's going to go home that afternoon.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to stay and hunt the evening. Nobody's going to stick around and cook afterwards. So if you want that opening day dove hunting weekend experience, I think doing it on the weekend's a better choice. But I don't know if you're right or wrong. Because the goal is, our goal is not to kill a limited bird.
Yeah.
Our goal is to go have a good time, If we get to shoot, that's a bonus. But regardless, I think we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
No matter what weekend you do it on, there's going to be something. There's going to be some birds to shoot at. I don't know if we've ever you've been going out there and watching, and you have Will out there. He's been a few mornings trying to get some footage of some birds for us just so we can see some.
Will's been laying in a layout blind.
Out there.
Sneaking out there before daylight, laying in a layout blind.
That's committed.
Yeah, he's committed.
I think he's more interested in those geese. But, and so we see birds every time we go. Now, some days it's a ton of them. Some days it's few and far between. So you just never know, man. I don't know. I couldn't tell you the best thing if you wanted to shoot a limit of doves on our place, you'd have to sit out there all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably would get a shot at.
You would
get a shot at. I think so. But it would be hard. It's not going to be one of those you shoot 15 before sunup,
Yeah.
before it gets really good in daylight.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that amount of birds out there because
We hadn't had that in years.
no, that when you see a field like that, it's almost. Yeah, I know y'all. If y'all watch, the social media or whatever, you see these birds down in Texas, where they're riding down the roads and they're just
every swarm.
There's swarms of them leaving. When you got those groups of 20, 25, and there's multiple ones like that. That's the field you're going to do. You're going to shoot a limit pretty freaking fast if you can shoot. If you can't shoot, you're going to be out there a while. But anyways, you can kind of tell, like, man, we got the birds. We got a jam up field. And like ours it's consistent. There's birds coming through, left and right. But it's like single. It's a pair. It's, it may be a group of 4 or 5 come through and 1 or 2 here or there. It's a constant shoot. Mm-hmm. But it's not like just a heavy shoot, but it's still a decent field.
Yeah, one thing, like with it opening on the first on a Monday this year, I don't know if you're going to have as many people shooting. I like it when your neighbors are shooting around too. It seems like it keeps the birds moving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to see that on the first on a Monday as much as we will on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's usually, man, it tees off, like you said. So when people start hearing that first shot go off, everybody's shooting. And people are you don't realize how many people are dove hunting around you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've got a ton of neighbors that do dove fields.
Yeah.
And so there's a bunch of shooting, and I think that moves the birds around. I don't know if some people say it locks them down. I don't know about that. I think it just pushes them to where areas of no pressure.
Yeah.
So they're flying more and looking,
Yeah, I agree with that. I think once they get shot off a field where they've been roosting and feeding for the past week or 2 or 3 weeks or however long, once they start getting shot at over there, they're going to go look somewhere else. We're going to move somewhere else, and this ain't safe no more. And then they're going to come to your field.
Well, we hope.
Yeah. So hopefully we got every dove in the area down there on the next weekend. Yeah. Hopefully everybody.
So what does it take to make a good dove field? Like just go over what we did this year, and then we're going to talk about last minute what you could do.
So one of the fields that we had, and I'll go through both fields. One of the fields that we've had over there for years, for the last 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 years. And what we've done is we go in and we plant winter wheat, and we actually were utilizing it as a food plot
for a fall
food plot. We planted just this one hole. It was on a ridge top. Soil's not really good. And really, the only thing we get to really thrive out there was winter wheat. Still had to put fertilizer on it and stuff like that.
It'll come up anywhere.
Yeah, and so we put it out there. Well, we had a good stand of wheat come springtime, like after turkey season. We were going to go in, maybe try to put beans in it or do something with it, try to do something with the field. And we wound up having a pretty good stand of wheat. It got to, stalking out. And then the heads came on it, and the wheat got up, almost probably about mid-thigh high, and made good heads. So we just left it. We didn't touch it all year.
Yep, all summer long.
Didn't touch it all summer long, and then right around the end of, July, 1st of August, somewhere in there, just really depends. We did run over and spray it because it did get some, it will get weeds in it. Once it dries out and it starts dying, you start getting, a little weed infiltration. So we did run over and spray Roundup over, kill the weeds out of it, which is normal agricultural practice. That's what farmers do before they harvest field. They kill the weeds out of it. So we were still legal there. And then come in, and what me and Will did, we just went over it and we bush hogged it down because we seen the birds out there. They were in the wheat stubble, or in the wheat, standing wheat. And me and him just went in and bush hogged it down. Probably, I don't know, a month ago or so, maybe 3 weeks ago, bush hogged all that down. And then we went out, we bush hogged down the side of the hills and opened it up, and we tilled those areas around the outer edge of it, tilled it up in the fresh dirt. And we sowed wheat back on that fresh dirt, 90 pounds to the acre, which is legal in Mississippi. We sowed that back on the outer edge. Not the same day we cut the wheat. This was, a week or so later, so we had a wheat field, cut wheat field with wheat seed laying in it, and then we had the outer edges in dirt where we sowed, planting wheat on the outside. And, we've got birds. I mean, we've got a few hay bales out there to hide behind. I think we got 4 or 5 hay bales.
They've been there for a year.
Yeah, we leave the round bales out on the field. They're pretty regular, so it's not nothing new to the birds that have been coming in there.
Mm-hmm. And that's just to give you something to sit by.
Yeah, you just sit by. And we usually rotate. We'll probably have to rotate those out, after a while. But anyways, so that's one of the fields that we have.
That's about as easy as you can get for a dove field.
Yeah, and if you have a hunting club or something like that, and you're planting, if you think that's a great thing about weed is you can put it down. The deer like it; they'll eat in it. You can deer hunt over it during the winter, and then come back in the summer if you want to have a dove field, and you can come back in and bush hog that down, and those birds, will be there.
And you can burn it. Like in the years past, we
burned it before. This year we just bush hogged it. We burned in the past. We had decent results.
What was your thinking there? Do you like it better last year the past couple of years when we burned the actual wheat field before we?
I like it now.
But you like it where it is now? Seems like the birds have been using it more this time.
Yeah, I like it now because we left some, stubble out there. I did leave one of the little smaller fields that touches or right off the edge of that big field. I did leave the wheat standing there. We sprayed the, weeds out of it, but I left, I don't know, strip of wheat or, out there, and then you can ride by there and those, birds are in that strip of wheat and out in the bare field. But the other reason I didn't't want to burn 110 degree heat index this year again. It's hot.
That was another thing I was going to say. Like the downside to this is if you break up the ground around it and you throw out wheat, well, if you get rain, it's going to germinate and you're going to have green.
Yeah.
And you really don't want green. You want dirt. So it's worked great for us this year because it's been so hot and we've been in a drought. We hadn't had much rain, but now we're starting to see some rain. There's no saying that we might have some green popping up.
Yeah, we'll probably have some green popping up in the next, 7 to 10 days.
And so we're just going to ride with it.
Yeah, you just let it go.
But we've got so much dirt. The doves, for some reason, just love the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see the ground, and they don't want anything a predator's going to hide around, I guess, to ambush them. So that's why they like that open area.
I mean, there's a lot of controversy on how to do a dove field. A lot of people leave everything standing. A lot of people, believe that doves want a really, really clean field. And I kind of agree with the clean field aspect of it. Because, I've seen birds out on a wide open, like ours, that wide open wheat field. You'll pull up out there and you won't see nothing. And then you'll see stuff moving around out there and you'll look and there'll be a couple hundred birds out there sitting in the middle of the field.
You don't realize.
Walking around, scratching around in that, in that thatch out there.
So if you can do anything and you want to be bare minimum, just go bush hog it down, turn the dirt a little bit, and throw some seed on it.
Yeah.
You'll have some birds.
Yeah, you can do that. If you're trying to do something quick, just go out there, just turn the dirt. Yeah, bush hog it down, maybe spray it. If you don't want to spray it, you don't have to. But you're going to get, weeds are going to start popping back up. But you can just go out there, disc it up real good, get the dirt showing. Everything in the field is going to die because you just cut all the, stems and roots up, disking it. And then sling your weed on top of that, a few days later or a week later or something like that. Let it dry up and throw it out there on it. And birds will come to that.
Yep. And you can look the regulation up, what the amount per acre is. I think us, it's like 90 pounds broadcast, so much.
I think it's 90 pounds per acre here.
And then I don't know what it is. If you wouldn't want to drill it, you want to
not if you're wanting
to throw it.
No, not if you're wanting bird. It's legal to sow. It's legal to sow wheat. And that is agricultural practice. So, but
that's the easy way. Now let's talk about the sunflower field. Now this is the one that we did. This was on new ground for us this year. First year we had this property, and it was a perfect spot to put a dove field. What made you think that'd be a good spot?
Well, it's been an open field for years, and they cut hay off of it, which doves do hang around hay fields. There are, weeds out there that have seed heads. You have wild oats and,
all kinds of grasses.
Yeah, all kinds of grasses and things that they do eat. So when they cut those hay fields, the birds will come in there and feed in those clipped hay fields. I see them all the time down there. We got a lot of hay fields around us. They'll clip those hay fields, and you'll look, and there'll be birds going into that hay field. So there are seeds and things out there that they, wild seeds that they're after. And that's the way that place was, and it's wide open. When you come in from the road, it's up on a ridge and it dips down in the bottom and comes right back up on another ridge. So what we did was we went in, of course, tilled everything up early spring, broke the ground. Like you said, it was new ground, just acquired the property, so really didn't have a lot of time to do any soil prep. Yeah. We just went in, it is what it is. And so we went in and tilled the ground up, got everything broke up real good, came back in, leveled the field out, sprayed the field with glyphosate and with a pre-emergent. You can use dual, you can use whatever. You can use, I forget what, Annihilate was one of it's a little more expensive than dual. But you can spray it with one of those, spray down your pre-emergent, and then me and Will came back in and we planted the sunflowers with a 4-row planter. So we planted that whole, I don't know, we got about 7 acres, something like that, 6.5 acres of sunflowers. Planted that from ridgetop to ridgetop. And so going into the spring, we were kind of waiting on the, rain, kind of hoping for rain. And that's about the time we got all of that.
May, June.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, because we planted it around the 1st of May.
Mm-hmm.
And that rain came in, and it rained May, June, and into July pretty much. We got a lot of that, and we got some weed infiltration in there. Our pre-emergent didn't work. Trying to get back in the field to spray was almost impossible because the ground's still broke. So when you go in there, it just, the tractor's marring up in the mud, and, you're tearing up more plants than you are,
doing good.
So we just left it alone. Let them get up a little bit, let everything dry out. It finally dried out. By that time, these things are, we did fertilize. I forgot. We did fertilize pretty heavy on that field. We did fertilize right after we planted them, fertilized, and then they came up, rains hit, perfect timing. Everything come up, everything got up about 3 or 4 inches tall, looked good, and no weeds in the field. Everything looked great. And then all that rain came, and I guess it just diluted the pre-emergent that was in the ground. It had to, because that was pretty expensive pre-emergent that we put on there. We put it to the right ratio. Anyways, going too deep into that. But anyway, sunflowers come up. We get good sunflowers. We got pie plate heads on some of them. Some of them are, smaller heads. There was actually a mix, I think, when you'd get that when you plant seeds, it's not all of them are the same sunflower breed or whatever. So we did have some that had great big old heads, and then we had some plants that had multi-heads on them. Which was, I guess they just, I don't know. They were just there. It was a different plant. And, anyways, so those heads were probably, I don't know, about the size of a saucer or what do you call it? A tea plate or a coffee plate, Danish plate, whatever you call them. So anyways, had those, let those get up, and went back in right towards the end of the season, sprayed hard with, Roundup and killed everything off. We did put some clethodim in there in the spray tank because we do, as far as I do, out there where we're at, for some reason, clethodim is about the only thing that will just kill Johnson grass dead. So we did put some clethodim in there to kind of control some of the Johnson grass that was around the edges. And anyway, sprayed the field off, let it dry out. Once it dried out, me and Will went back in. We were toying with the idea of leaving it standing or cutting it down. And so we kind of did a mixture of both. We went in, we left strips, probably some places 3 or 4 rows wide of sunflowers around the edge, left some out in the middle. And then, so on both edges, we left, 3 or 4 rows of sunflowers.
Like a hedgerow.
Yeah. And then left, strips in the middle, here and there, not like just one long strip. We would break it up where, like in the bottom, like I mowed everything down in the bottom, just cleaned it all because there is a drainage ditch down there. I wanted it to be open, but anyways, and left those up. So we left the fields kind of got some diversity. It's got open, clean ground with, sunflower seed and heads laying on the ground that are dried that they can pick around on. And there's still standing sunflowers there that are bent over.
They can light in.
And they can run up there and light in them. They can get in the sunflower rows if they want to, whatever they want to do. So we felt like that was a better way of doing it than just cleaning it off or leaving it off. I mean, because leaving it all standing, have you ever shot a bird in like standing sunflowers that are chest high?
It's hard to find them.
Yeah,
real hard. It can be. We went down to last year down in Delta and shot that sunflower field, and it was like that. I mean, they had shoulder high sunflower still, and you shot a bird in it. If you didn't really see where it went down, it was a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
You had to go, hope.
And if you winged him up and he got his feet on the ground, he's liable to be 30, 40 yards from you, like never find him.
It made it tough.
Yeah.
It's good hunting because it's good concealment.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I like the style of having a little bit of place to hide to break you up, have some of it still standing, but then have a lot of open ground.
Yeah.
But it helps, like where we are, when there's a gravel road that runs, it's like a driveway.
That's right.
Birds love that gravel road in the morning. And then there's
power line at the road.
There's a big power line at the road they can sit on. And then there's roost trees. And there's a huge pine tree that's got, every time you go close to it, flushes dove out. And we've got several trees like that around the field too. So those are things that you kind of look for. They give you some shade on them hot days to sit by.
Yeah.
But the birds also, when they come to that field, they'll, the way we see them, we kind of know which way they're coming in the field. And you can go do all this just by observing, going out there in the mornings and going out there in the evenings and see what the birds are doing. And it seems like in the mornings, they're coming from the east to the west. They're breaking the middle of the field and they're headed towards the big tree, or they're dispersing out in the center. But in the evenings, they're coming from the west, going back the other way. And so they're just kind of working the field. And once you figure that out, you kind of know where to put your people that's going to be hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to get a better shot of getting somebody some shots at them.
Yeah. Well, and it, that a lot of people have different opinions on, the sunflowers. Leave them standing, cut them down.
Yeah.
We dropped that video. If y'all hadn't seen it, we got it on all the platforms. So if you hadn't seen that, you kind of see what we did in the field. Got beat up a little bit. Some people didn't like, well, you shouldn't have done that. Well, this is our field. You know what I mean?
A lot of what we do is experimenting too. I mean, it may not work.
That's right. I mean, it was the first time we've ever hunted this place. First time we've ever, got a really, really good stand of sunflowers out there. So, and me and you have hunted, I asked you that question. I knew the answer to it, but I was just going to ask you anyways. But we have hunted standing sunflowers before, and it's tough.
It is, yeah.
It's a good hiding spot. If you don't have a dog,
it makes it tough.
You knock them down, dog. Yeah. You better walk straight to him. If you take your eyes off where that bird fell in them sunflower, you turn to shoot another one, try to double up, knock another one down. Yeah, you probably ain't gonna find both of them.
Yep.
It's hard to find both of them. You're gonna spend a lot of time out there looking, and I don't know. I felt like we needed to clip it down and get it down to the dirt. Plus, it helped. I mean, there's seed laying everywhere on that field too.
Oh yeah.
You run over that bush hog and they're dry, son. Them seeds go everywhere. It amazed me walking out there just seeing how many seeds that those, I say handful of rows. We mowed down 75% of the field, but there's seed everywhere over that dirt sitting out there just shining, son. I mean, you can see it from a long ways off.
And heck, you've had that cut down for nearly 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the birds have found it. I mean, that's why every time I go down there and look, I mean, we're seeing birds in the field, buzzing the field. It's drawn just about everything. I mean, heck, I was tickled to death. I saw several hatches of turkeys out there in it. So it's good for the turkeys too.
So
I didn't even know they were there.
Yeah, I know.
That field. We didn't turkey hunt that place last year.
Yeah, Will said he rode up on them the other day. Said he went out there just kind of checked the field, and he said they were right there by the driveway. So when he pulled in, he said he didn't see them at first, and he pulled in, and he seen something move out the corner of his eye, and he said the hen took off, just ran for the woods. Well, the poults never quit pecking in the sunflowers.
They stayed out there.
So Will said they just sit there. He said they didn't run or anything. So he said they wasn't 30, 40 yards from him when I pulled in the driveway, and he said they just sit there. They didn't pay no attention to her running off.
That hen didn't go too far.
No, she was probably over there freaking squawking in the end of the thing, trying to get them home. They was pecking them sunflower seeds. They wasn't worried about it.
No, that's filling bellies. I want them to.
So talking about hunting in sunflowers, or something like that, we said taking a dog. Would you take a dog, or are you going to take a dog dove season?
Man, I like to because it works for my dog, and I don't have a pro dog or anything. I got a house dog that just loves to go, and
she's pretty good.
Yeah, she'll go get a bird. Yeah, I'll definitely take her because she loves it. But you got to watch them in dove season, man. You don't realize, especially if you've got one that ain't been out working in the summer all summer long, you can overheat a dog real quick. People don't realize that, and they take their dogs out. And I mean, whether you've got them on their trees, or they're just running around playing, you're throwing bumpers with them, whatever, you can get them too hot out there. And I mean, normally, like last year, for instance, it was 90-something degrees with doves. Mm-hmm. You need to have water for them. You need to have something shade. I usually take her. She's got like a duck, a little perch.
Yeah.
She can get up under it because it's cooler. It gives her some shade, but she's a black lab, so she draws the heat. And I have to watch her. She'll get too hot. I mean, I don't think I've ever overheated her, but I definitely know that it's easy to do. So if you keep one out there all day in the sun, man, you take care of your dog.
Yeah, definitely take some water with you.
But I'll definitely bring her. I mean, it's fun it's harder. I think it's hard. It was harder for her when she was young. I remember the first time I took her dove hunting, and Michael was, trying to work with her, and he was young, and I mean, she'll be 3 this year, so it was 3 years ago. And, we knock a bird down. She's ripping to go, and we send her out to get one, man. She gets that dove. By the time she got it back, she done ate the whole dove. And Michael's trying to fight her. I think he grabbed it out of her mouth. She dipped at him, and it was just a tragedy. But this dog, it was the first. She'd been trained to hunt ducks and never sent her on a small bird.
Yeah.
And so it took her some time to learn what to do with them. So what I figured out I had to do was we shot some birds, and then I froze them, and then I had to work with her. I had to throw that bird in the yard to get her used to going to picking up something that size, and to get her mouth to be softer with the bird like that.
Yeah.
Dove's a lot more fragile than a duck. So,
oh yeah.
And so she was really great at getting ducks, but she didn't know anything about it. But now she'll go get a dove with the best of them. She knows how to bring it back to us, and she knows if you knock down one and I send her to get it, she's going to bring that bird to me.
Yeah.
She ain't going to take it to you. But it helps. It helps an old fat guy to have a dog, because I don't have to bust off in that, in the upper overgrown stuff. I can send her over in there, and after she makes a few loops, usually she can find it, sniff it out, and bring it to me. And so it helps a lot. It saves me some steps. So if you got a kid, oh man, just send them off in there.
Yeah.
It is hard to wrangle a dog and a kid, a small kid. Now, if you got one that's older now, it's a little easier, but the older the dog, probably the better trained too. It makes a difference too. If you got one that's a little young, a little, green behind the ears.
Oh yeah.
You might be fighting that dog a little more than.
I've seen them fight them on the dove fields. They bring them, son, and Lord, the dogs, like you said, they'll go out there and they'll just devour a dove. Some of them just plain eat them.
Eat them, swallow them whole. Yeah. My dog did it. I watched her. I was like, dang, I didn't even know she'd eat a whole bird.
Yeah. And bring you back to head.
That's it. She loves them now. It's like, man, that's her favorite thing.
Yeah, I had a dog one time that probably the best bird dog I ever had. Took him dove hunting a few times, stuff like that. Man, he was old. He's 3 or 4 years old. It was given to me by a buddy of mine. And anyways, this dog was, man, it was on point. Whistle train, hand signals, it was the whole 9 yards. This dog was really good. Small frame lab, really narrow in the back end. Anyways, I was living in town, and the dog loves water. This dog loved it. Freaking loved it. Well, I had this little kennel out back, that I kept him in. Had his dog house, kennel, and all that stuff that I kept him in the middle of town. So I had this dog in this kennel, and had one of those latches that you pick it up and open the gate, and then latch it back down over the rail or whatever. This dog was so smart, it figured out how to get that door open. So it would stand up on its hind leg. It watched me. And it would hit that latch until it got it open. I didn't know this. So I had 2 dogs at the time. I had a young dog I was training and this dog, and I was using them both, using one to train the other, anyways. So I get up one morning, I got these 2 dogs living in the middle of town. Dead in the middle of town. Got these high-end houses all around me, and I'm living in a old house that was just stuck off in the middle, a rental house. And anyways, I get up one morning. I always got up right at daylight, let the dogs out in the yard, let them run, hard. They stayed in the backyard. They didn't go anywhere, and let them run hard in the backyard, because there's a leash law in the middle of town, but I don't like leashing them and walking them. So I just turn them loose and throw the ball for them, and then go back in, take a shower and go to work. And anyways, this one morning I get up, I open the freaking door up, walk out on my back porch. Both dogs are sitting there, and they're soaking wet, dude. Soaking wet. I was like, how did y'all get out? And that's when I realized that older dog had figured out how to open the gate. So I was looking at them. They're wet. Like this puddle of water like around them. They're both just sitting there on their butts looking at me when I come out the porch. Like they knew they done something they wasn't supposed to. So where have y'all been? And my neighbors had this beautiful, beautiful big house next to me and this huge freaking swimming pool. Then I looked over there, and it looked like kids been doing cannonballs in that swimming pool. It was rocking back and forth, and all I could think of, I'm finna have to buy a liner for that pool, because I know these dogs tore it up. And I called into work, packed both dogs up, took one to my wife, Melissa. One of them was hers that I was training. Took it to her, and then I give my other one to the older dog to my brother-in-law, Thomas. Well, Thomas wanted the dog anyway, so I give it to him, and he kept it. Well, that first, I guess it was close to dove season. They go out. They're going to dove hunt, and he's sitting on the field, and a bunch of guys he don't know, about 20 people on the field. And a buddy of mine went with him. He was telling me, he said, man, that dog you gave him is the baddest dog I've ever seen in my life. I said, really? He said, yes. He retrieved every single freaking bird on that field. but he wouldn't bring them back to Thomas. He was taking them to a dude that could have been your brother sitting on the field and was dropping them and go over and sit by that guy.
He thought that was you.
He thought it was me.
That's a good dog.
And he said that dog had a pile. I mean, everybody had to go to him to get their birds because that dog had retrieved every single bird on that field that he could get to. And he's like, man, well, the dog wound up, I don't remember what happened to the dog, but anyways, that dog was, I love that. That dog was awesome. If you got a good dog, man,
Well,
it's
hard to beat.
It's hard to beat them, man.
You get attached to them, and man, I love watching one work. I mean, to see them do their thing and the enjoyment they get out of it, because that's all they want to do is please you. They want to bring it back to you. That's why Sadie does us, man. That's why she brings it to me. She thinks there's nothing better than to bring it back to us. I didn't train her to do that. You know, she just does it.
We got a dog now, this Will's dog that he went and we rescued it from a dog pound or whatever you want to call it, rescue center or something like that. Will was younger and he was probably 12 years old or so, 11. Always wanted a lab. And he went out there and he sees this dog sitting in the kennel, and it looks like a lab. I could tell it's mixed with something, but it maybe bird dog or something like that. And I'm looking at this thing and I was like, he's like, Daddy, please let me get this one. Please let me get this one. So we adopted the dog. We get this thing home. Will's going to train him to be a duck dog.
Didn't go as planned.
No, man. He throw the ball and that dog just stand there and look at him. Didn't know what to do with a ball, with a frisbee, with a dummy or any of that stuff, and hates freaking water. Broke a water hose out. The dog liked to run back to Hernandez. And it was something that dog will not freaking retrieve.
You can't turn them all into bird dogs.
That thing
they ain't all gonna do it. Even all labs don't have it in them.
That one definitely don't.
Oh, Rochelle had a beautiful big old stud chocolate lab. He's a big boy, man. He hated water.
Yeah,
and he hated guns.
Yeah, he does too.
Some of them will retrieve, but they can't do gun shots.
Yeah,
I mean, that's. I mean, you find one that just has that drive and that don't mind the guns and loves water and wants to please. Oh, that makes the best.
Yeah,
dog.
It takes a lot to make a good dog.
It does. It does.
So, what gun you gonna shoot opening weekend,
man? You know, I was thinking about that. I ordered me a new choke from a 20 gauge. I think I got a bunch of 20 gauge shells that I'd bought up for when Michael first started shooting sporting clays, and he was shooting 20 gauge when he was younger, and he moved on to a 12 gauge pretty quick. Now I got all these 20 gauge shells, and I said, man, I need to shoot them. So I ordered me a new Carlson's Dove choke for my 20 gauge, and so I think I'm gonna tote that this year instead of the 12. I don't need that much thump.
Yeah, that's what.
What are you gonna shoot?
I'm taking that. I'm taking the 20 gauge. I bought that new turkey gun this past year, that TriStar, and it's a fabulous turkey gun. But I wound up taking it down to a tournament that I shot back during the spring. Unscrewed the turkey choke and stuck the. What
are you gonna shoot? Improved?
Yes, probably so. Probably shoot an improved cylinder out of that gun. Because it holds pretty good pattern with an improved cylinder. But yes, I mean, like you said, I mean, you get out there, you get thumping at them birds, man, especially shooting those skeet tournaments. Man, I was so much more accurate, I guess, towards the end from not just getting, bucked around so much with that over and under that I used to shoot. The recoil on that thing is almost nothing. So, yeah, I like shooting.
That's what
I've gotten older and don't have to have that big 12 gauge.
That's what I was going to. I mean, I had a choice. I mean, I think last year I took my Benelli and I shot 2 or 3 boxes of shells out of it. But, man, by the end of it, I was like, man, I really didn't have to shoot all that.
Yeah.
I didn't have the birds to show for it. If I can't hit them, I might as well be shooting a 20 gauge.
I mean, I'm happy with shooting a 20 gauge. I mean, that skeet tournament I didn't do good. We did win something, but I was kind of one of the lower legs on that thing, just shooting a new gun and shooting a 20 gauge. I had a pretty high disadvantage, but I was in the mid 60%, on my card. So I was like, that ain't bad for a new gun and a 20 gauge.
Do you shoot certain loads and shells and brands and all that out of yours, or you just shoot whatever's on sale?
On dove season? Yeah, I'm just going whatever's in the bag, brother. I mean, if it'll go through if the gun will cycle it, that's what I'm putting in it. I'm cleaning that bag out.
I got a bunch of, I don't know, I think this is back when you could get a decent box of, I think I bought a case for, I think they were $80 or something like that.
Yeah.
Them Federals, and they're game loads. I think they're 7.5. I mean, they ain't gonna be nothing fancy. Just the cheapest Federal probably shell they make. But man, I'm fixing this chunk them out.
Yeah,
I ain't spending the money on high brass and all that stuff for dove. It just ain't. It ain't worth it to me.
No, usually shoot something that's, fairly cheap. I don't want something that's just raggedy cheap.
Yeah.
But something that's fairly cheap, shooting a 7.5 or a 8 shot, something like that. I would, with a 20 gauge, I'm stay away from 9s.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that 20 gauge.
It'll break a clay. It'll kill a bird. It'll kill.
Yeah.
And I ain't shooting at 50 yards either. I'm gonna let them get close to me. I'm gonna try to take some easy shots. I got a lot. In fact, I bought the light modified choke for my 20 gauge, so it's really probably 35 yard max choke. So I'm gonna try to be patient and catch them when they come in. Let them youngsters shoot at them long shots if they want to.
Set on a tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna peep on it.
Wait till he puts the landing gear out and just poof.
Yeah. That's exactly when he's coming down. He's either gonna be. I ain't gonna shoot no low ones. I ain't gonna shoot them on the ground. I'm gonna make sure they're up in the air. But I'm gonna let him get his flips and cartwheels and all that out of the way, dodging them youngsters that way out there at 50 yards and just put that old one shot on them.
So you was talking about game wardens and stuff like that earlier. I got to tell this story about my brother real fast. So you asked me about some of the best fields I've been on. Randy got to telling me about one of the best fields he'd ever been on, and he was telling me this. It was a couple of weeks ago. He was telling me this story, man, and he had me just rolling. But so when he used to do hardwood floors for this guy. The guy had this hardwood floor business. He'd done a lot of colleges and stuff down south and things like. He had some kind of contract with the state or whatever, but. Anyways, he refloored all this. So the guy was pretty well off. Well, him and Randy became really good friends. Randy's one of the only employees he had working with him. And anyways, Randy was wanting to dove hunt. Well, Randy drove down to this guy's house. I forget where in Mississippi he was at. And he tells him, yeah, I got a dove field, a good one you can go on. So he takes Randy over to this field. Randy said he pulls up. It's like in the afternoon. Said he takes him out there, said, just go out there and sit wherever you want to. Randy said, we pull up on, he said, Mikey, I'm talking about the most beautiful sunflower field you ever seen, dude. He said, it was huge. And he said, are you sure I can hunt out here? He's like, this is mine. You go on out there and hunt. And Randy said they had T's cutting this thing, crosses cutting this thing, standing, laying sunflowers. He said, there were birds everywhere.
It was set up.
He said, it was loaded with birds. So I just went to the closest spot I could get to, without messing, walking through the middle of the field. He said, I sat down, had my cooler, my little dove stew, had me a case of shells sitting there. And he said, I went to waylay them jokers. Bang, 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 by itself. He said, I start shooting. He said, I done got reloaded gun a couple of times. He said, well, just directly I look up and I see this truck come down the dirt road, just wide open, hard as it can come. He said, it bails up in the field and me and pulls up and slams on the brake and the guy gets out and said, what in the hell do you think you're doing? Randy said, well, I'm dove hunting. He said, do you know where you're at? He said, yeah, I'm on Charlie's field. He said, Charlie don't own this damn field.
Oh, man, he done put him on one.
Yeah, he told him, he said, I got doctors and lawyers that come out here to pay $2,500 a gun to shoot this field. Get off of this field.
Oh, man. Did he let him pick up his birds?
Yeah, he let him take his bird, told him to get his ass off the field and don't ever come back. And Randy said he called Charlie's like, hey, man, this guy's running me off your field over here. He said, you sure you own this field? He said, I'll be over in just a minute. So he got out. They got into it. And he got back. He told Randy, go get in the truck, put your stuff in the truck. I'll take you somewhere else. So he said he got back in the truck. He said, Charlie, I thought you owned this field. He said, well, not really. He said, I just know the guy.
Oh, man.
Man, that dude could have, he said he could have took me to jail, man. He said, I was just happy to get off the field without getting in trouble.
Hey, you got to watch it to get permission to hunt on somewhere to make sure it's on the up.
Heck
man.
Yeah. You better be careful going to somebody's field because
what do you do? Okay. What do you do in a situation you paid hunt and you don't know if that field's legal or not? How do you approach that? There's a lot of people they're just looking for a place to go. You can pay a little bit of money and you can go on a dove hunt. I see it advertised all the time.
Yeah. So when you go dove hunting and it is your responsibility for the bait and ticket. It is not the landowner's.
So it ain't up to him to make sure that field's legal. It's up to you
when you get there.
That's hard to do when it ain't sun up.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and they put you on the spot, you take your chair and stool or whatever you got, your gun, everything, you get out there and the sun comes up and you look around and you see nothing, seeds on the ground.
You better check your surroundings because if the field is baited or something like that, it is on you as the hunter to make sure you're sitting on a legal field. Now that sucks because you probably ain't gonna walk a 30-acre field to check to see if every inch of it's not baited.
So how does that go? So say game warden comes out there to check you, and they find a part of the field is illegal. Does everybody still get a ticket that's hunting on that field, or just the people sitting around it?
They can give everybody on the field a ticket. And so I think it's kind of up to their discretion. But yeah, it's because that has happened to a buddy of mine. They actually did a field, and they had a sunflower field. They went back in and sowed sunflower over the top of the sunflowers that they had bush hogged down.
Oh, they added more to it.
Uh-huh. Well, they bought a seed that didn't match the seeds that they had planted. So when the game warden come out there, he broke a standing head, or a head that was laying on the ground, opened it up, and it was black oil sunflowers, and they had sunflowers that had, some kind of stripe on it or something like that didn't match. And they got to looking, and there was a bunch of them on the ground, and they were like, all right, everybody's getting tickets. And they wrote tickets on the entire field, everybody that was on the field.
Hey, all I know is you better be right, because if they come, they going to check you.
And that's, there's a friend of mine that does a field every year that's down here in Independence down here. And he tells you, he grows watermelons. He usually discs down the watermelon fields, and he sows wheat over the top of the watermelon fields. And when you get to his place while we're, saying the prayer in the past, he'll tell you, you're hunting on my field, but I'm not responsible for you. I created the dove field. He said, if it's baited and you think it's baited, get off the field, because you're the one that's going to get the ticket, not me. He said, I didn't purposely do it, but if you get the ticket, you get the ticket.
Does he tell you that before the prayer or during the prayer?
He tells us that before the prayer. That's usually the first thing.
Please don't let that game warden come, Lord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got me one year. We were sitting up there, and I'll just run you through this whole thing. So he told everybody, he's like, I got a wheat field over here, and he went through all that. I can't, it may be 110 pounds per acre. It may be 90 pounds. It may be 85 in some places. But if they come out there and write a ticket, don't bring it to me. I'm letting you hunt on my place. It's your responsibility. I'm being gracious to let you out there. Also, if you fall and trip and break your leg in a hole, you fell and tripped, broke your leg. Don't come back to me wanting me to pay for your leg. If you shoot your foot off, that's on y'all. He
had the whole disclaimer.
Well, evidently the year before, I guess something had happened like that, and he had went through that whole little spiel about, it's your responsibility. Mm-hmm. And if you ever do that, you won't come back here. Well, while he's saying this, man, I'm getting tickled. Cause I know him. He's a pretty gruff guy, but he's a very generous guy most of the time. But he's setting everybody straight. Don't come to me crying if something happens to you. You deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's right. I think that's right. I mean, if you open your property up to people to come hunt, don't come to me if something happens or something's wrong. That's on you. You don't come back if you don't.
Hey, I ain't paying the ticket. They're probably gonna write me one just like they're gonna write you one.
But he usually does his whole spiel before the prayer, and he's over there. He's laying it down, man. Took his hat off his head, and he's rubbing his head, and he's got aggravated talking about it.
Yeah,
because somebody
worked yourself up.
Yeah, somebody done pissed him off in the past, and he's just letting everybody else have it right here in the middle of this thing before we go dove hunting. And I'm over, and I done turned around because I done got tickled, man. I done pulled my hat off, got it over my face where he can't see me laughing because I knew it was going to piss him off.
Yeah.
And he seen me. And I was sitting over and I'm chuckling, trying not to just bail her out and start just laughing like hell. And he looks at me and he said, then Mikey Dyer, you can say the prayer now.
Oh, man, put you on the spot to pray.
In the middle of 50 people. Yes. Oh, he done got so wound up and I done got tickled.
I'd have had to
throwed me under the bus.
These things happen.
I was like, that's what I said. That's please, Lord, don't let nobody get hurt.
We don't need a lash.
Yeah. Please don't let nobody come to Tim with nothing.
Oh, that's good stuff. But that's what makes dove season fun, man. And I'm ready for it. Are you?
Oh, I am, dude. I love the smell of gunpowder. I know people think you're crazy. I love the smell of gunpowder.
Yeah.
And when you're shooting on them dove fields and you can smell that gunpowder in the air, man, it means it's hunting season.
Heck yeah.
And it opens up I go at ease at that time. I know it's coming. I know winter's coming. And it puts me in a total different frame of mind for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, hey, on that note, man, we hope everybody has a great opening day this year. And we're going to come back next week and tell you how our opening day went.
Yeah.
And we probably have talk about some more dove recipes and some stuff like that. We didn't even get into cooking today, but maybe we'll have a few more people on the podcast with us. And we're getting ready for our big opener. It'll be the week after that. So we're going to have 2 weeks worth of dove talk.
Yeah, if y'all have a good hunt this weekend, or if you shoot us some pictures over on the Facebook page, Buck Junkie Outdoors Club. We'd love to see them.
And we got y'all can follow us on all the social platforms, but our number one community is over on Facebook. It's the Buck Junkies Outdoor Club, like Mikey said, and that's where anybody's got questions, they want to talk about something, you want to make fun of us or whatever, hit us up on there, man. We might talk about it on the podcast too. If y'all got something y'all want to hear about what we got going on, let us know. But anything else you want?
Yeah, we definitely got some recipes coming out. We already got one out fresh for this year, maybe two, and got some other videos.
The spaghetti when you did looked pretty dang good.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. That was. I
want to see that pigeon recipe. We got to shoot some pigeons. Do a pigeon recipe for us.
No doubt. We'll do it.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time. We gone.